Look around you. We live in an incredible world of infinite possibilities and infinite distractions. A phone buzzes, an email arrives, a notification pops up. In the midst of this noise, we try to focus, to be productive, to be our best selves. And where there's a problem, an industry emerges promising a solution. In recent years, we've seen a wave of what's called functional audio. Apps with futuristic names, algorithm-designed playlists, all making the same seductive promise. Put on these headphones and unlock your brain. Become a more focused, more relaxed, more creative you. It sounds fantastic, doesn't it? The idea that we can hack our brains, tuning them like a radio to the focus station, is incredibly appealing. But today, I want to ask a fundamental question. Are we facing a neuroscience revolution? Or the smartest marketing campaign of our time?
To understand this, we first need to speak the brain's language. Our brain is an electrical organ. Billions of neurons communicate constantly, creating rhythms we call brainwaves. Each wave pattern is associated with a different mental state. Delta waves, for instance, are for deep sleep. Beta waves are for active concentration, when we're alert and solving problems. This is where our star player enters, binaural beats. The theory is elegantly simple. You wear headphones and hear one tone in one ear, say 400 Hz, and a slightly different tone in the other, like 410 Hz. Your brain, trying to make sense of this, creates an auditory illusion, a third pulse, a ghost beat, at the frequency difference. In this case, 10 Hz. And here's the great leap of faith. The theory, called brainwave entrainment, posits that your brain will naturally start to synchronize with that ghost beat.
So, if you want to concentrate, you just listen to a beat in the beta frequency, and voila, your brain tunes in and you enter a state of maximum focus. It sounds logical, it sounds scientific, but does it actually work? This is where the story gets complicated. When we dive into the scientific research, we don't find a clear consensus. We find a battlefield. On one hand, we have optimistic studies. A highly cited 2018 meta-analysis concluded that binaural beats had a positive effect on cognition and anxiety. But then, you flip the coin. In 2023, a large-scale study with over 900 people, designed to mimic real-life use, found something startling. Binaural beats for both relaxation and concentration didn't just fail to help. They actively worsened performance compared to silence or classical music. And this isn't an isolated case. Another systematic review from that same year called the evidence inconclusive at best. Out of 14 quality studies, 8 directly contradicted the theory, so we have a problem. The evidence cancels itself out. This tells us the simple model of input frequency, output mental state, is, at best, incomplete. And then there's the elephant in the room, the placebo effect. The simple belief that something will help you focus, can help you focus. One fascinating study found that the suggestion that the sounds would improve performance had a clearer effect than the sounds themselves. This is the great disconnect. Science, when it's honest, says, it's complicated, the results are mixed. But marketing has no time for nuance. Marketing says, achieve super intelligence, genius brain frequency, digital drugs, so.
They've taken a poorly understood scientific phenomenon, packaged it in a shiny app, and built a commercial empire on it. So if this brain engineering approach is so unreliable, what's the alternative? We have one that's been with us for centuries. One that doesn't try to force the brain, but invites it to participate. I'm talking about music, specifically the great classical works. Listening to music isn't a single area activity. It's a full brain workout. It activates our emotional centers, our memory networks, and crucially, our reward pathways, releasing dopamine, the chemical of pleasure and motivation. Now let's not fall for old myths. The famous Mozart effect has been largely debunked. The real benefit is more subtle. Pleasant and stimulating music improves our mood and arousal. A happier, more alert brain simply works better.
And here is the fundamental difference. Binaural beats propose a bottom-up mechanism, a simple pulse trying to force the brain into a state. Classical music works top-down. Its complexity and emotional richness don't force anything. They create an environment. They occupy the brain's distraction circuits with rich, non-verbal information, reduce stress, and improve our mood. It's not a switch, it's gardening. It prepares the soil for concentration to grow naturally. So, to return to the initial question, are binaural beats a hoax? Not entirely. the auditory illusion is real, but the claim that they are a reliable, scientifically proven tool to control our minds. That, as of today, is based more on marketing than on science. It's a fascinating technology sold to the public long before scientists truly understand what it does.
So our advice is this: if you want to experiment, do so with caution. But if you want a tool more tested by time and neuroscience, find a good piece of instrumental music. Science supports listening to composers like Bach, Mozart, or Beethoven, particularly with high-quality recordings with little background noise, equalized to the specific hearing of each listener, just as you can experience on myeki.pro. In our search for productivity, it's easy to be seduced by a technological shortcut. But sometimes, the most powerful tools are not those that try to control our brain with a simple pulse, but those that engage it in all its richness and depth.